Good morning, Year 4. It's Mrs. Cafrello here with your literacy for Tuesday, the 2nd of February. Okay, so open your literacy books and you can write today's date up at the top, Tuesday, the 2nd of February 2021. Then misline and you can write our learning objective, which is to draft an opposing argument. Miss another line and write your SPAG subheading. Okay, so you can pause the video whilst you do that. In SPAG today, we're going to be looking at past progressive verbs. So have a little think about what that might be. Have a think about past tense and what that means. Okay. So a past progressive verb shows a continuing action that happened in the past. So the verb is the action, a doing word, and the past shows that it happened before now. So it happened yesterday, last week, last year, it's already happened. Okay, so let's take a look what this means. So if it was happening right now, you would say, I am reading a book. If you're reading a book now, that's what you would say. Okay? If you read a book yesterday, you would say, I read a book. Okay? That's the past tense. But the past progressive shows a continuing action. Okay? So it's happened for a long time. So if it was past progressive, you would say, I was reading a book. Because that's something that has happened. I was reading a book yesterday, okay? And reading shows that it went on for a long time. For your first task today, I want you to have a look at these sentences and see if you can add the correct past progressive verb into the blank spaces, okay? So there might be more than one option for each blank space. So Miles says, yesterday, I was blank the assembly on YouTube. Think about what verb could go in there. How would you make it past? Spicy, I was blank in the park when I spotted a squirrel. So think about a doing word that can go here that you did in the past. Hot says, I was blank to the bus stop, but the bus was blank the wrong way. So what was the person doing? I was, think of a verb, a doing word that could go here, and what was the bus doing? A verb that can go here to show something in the past that has already been done. Okay, so I want you to pause the video now, choose a sentence and see if you can put a past progressive verb into the blank space. Okay, so let's start off with mild then. Yesterday I was something the assembly on YouTube. So it's going to be talking about watching the assembly on YouTube. Okay. If we were just talking in the past tense, we could say, yesterday I watched the assembly. That's something that happened, okay? But if we put watched here, it wouldn't make sense. Yesterday I watched the assembly on YouTube. It doesn't make sense. So we're going to need to use a different suffix. And because it's a past progressive, it shows something that's happened continuously over quite a period of time. So we can put watching. Yesterday, I was watching the assembly on YouTube. And that's the past progressive, showing that it has been done in the past. Let's have a look at spicy then. Okay. I was something in the park when I spotted a squirrel. So you might have been playing, cycling, running, walking. Okay. Those would all be okay. So I'm going to type cycling. I was cycling in the park when I spotted a squirrel. So that shows a continuous doing word, the verb, the past progressive. I was cycling in the park when I spotted a squirrel. If we were just talking in the past tense, we would say, I cycled in the park yesterday. Okay, so we would add the ed suffix, not the ing. Okay, let's take a look at hot then. I was something to the bus stop, but the bus was something the wrong way. So I'm going to say I was walking to the bus stop. Some of you might have put running. I was walking to the bus stop, but the bus was facing the wrong way. Okay, it might have been going the wrong way or driving the wrong way. Give yourself a tick if you think you've got these right. So your book should now look like this. You can underline your past progressive verb. Okay, remember to write task 1 and whether you've done mild, spicy or hot. The next task then, task 2. Can you write a sentence including a past progressive verb about this photo? Okay, so have a look at this photo. What can you see? There's a hunter there with his rifle and it looks like he's hunting for animals. So for an example, I've written, the hunter was shooting the poor animals. So that's something that's already happened. He could have done that yesterday. Yesterday, the hunter was shooting the poor animals. Or we could say the animals were enjoying the freedom until the hunter arrived. Enjoying is our past progressive verb. It's happened in the past. That means it's already happened and it's something that goes on for a long period of time. They were enjoying the freedom. Okay, so pause the video now and see if you can write a sentence about this photo, including a past progressive verb. So we've started writing our campaign based on keeping animals in captivity. So you started your introduction last week with Miss Atkin, and then we did our first paragraph together yesterday, starting with telling the reader your reasons for choosing what you chose to base your campaign on. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the opposing argument. That means the opposite argument. So we're acknowledging other people's points of view and we're saying that we understand that other people have different opinions to us, and we're going to discuss that in the paragraph today. So just like yesterday, I'm going to show you the sentence starters and then have a little think about what we could write. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to have a look at spicy. If you're doing mild, you can start now. You can start writing it out, filling in the blanks as you go. Make sure you do that in your literacy book. Okay, so spicy. The first sentence starter is I understand that. And that is going to show them that we understand that other people have different opinions. Okay, so we can say, I understand that other people might think that animals are better off living in their natural habitats. And I'm saying that because that's the opposite argument than I've decided to do my campaign on. So I'm writing my campaign about animals staying in captivity. Okay, so here I'm acknowledging that other people think that animals are better off living in their natural habitats. Okay, let's go back and have a look for the next sentence starter. People think. Okay, so what do people think about that? So people think that animals are better living in their natural habitats because, so I can explain why people think that. Okay, so let's have a think why people think that. I think people think they're better off living in their natural habitats because they're with their families, they've got a lot more space to roam and explore and go hunting for their own food, so I could write something about that. People think that animals are better living in their natural habitats because they have more space to hunt for their own food. Okay. Let's go back. Look at the next sentence starter. This could be because. So this is showing the empathy that we looked at as well the week before last. So we're putting ourselves in somebody else's position to try and understand their opinions. Okay, so they might think that they're better in the natural habitats, they've got more space to hunt for their own food. This could be because they think that animals are better with their families. I'm going to add a little bit to this. Rather than living with zookeepers or other animals they are not used to. Okay, so that's showing that you understand that other people have different opinions and you're trying to rationalise it. You're saying why, so you're explaining why with your because. Okay? However, I disagree because. So this is the part where you put your argument across again. So if you remember back to your plan, there was a box for writing your argument with the positives and negatives, a box for writing the opposing argument with the positives and negatives, and then another box going back to what you were originally saying. Okay, so the sentence starter, however, I disagree. And we're going to explain why you disagree. I disagree because animals have everything they need in captivity. Okay, so that's showing what I think. So I think the opposite. Okay, so I want you to have a go. If you're doing hot, I want you to fit a quote in there. Make sure you're using conjunctions to expand your sentences. I want as much information in there as you can get. And I want to see exciting vocabulary, okay? Get some adjectives in there and use synonyms, okay? If you've written a word, think, can I make that word sound more exciting? Can I change that word so it's a little bit more exciting? Okay, then let's have a look at today's challenge. Your challenge today is see if you can include a fact in your paragraph. And don't forget, you could make this up if you can't think of a proper fact, okay? How could you shock the reader with an interesting fact? Okay, so you could shock them with a fact or a statistic. For example, did you know 400 poachers were arrested last year trying to kill animals in the wild? Could you live with yourself knowing that almost 600 animals died in captivity in 2018? So those are some example facts that you might want to include as part of your challenge. So go back and reread your paragraph that you've written and see if you can fit a fact in there somewhere. Okay? When you've finished that, I want you to take a photo, if you can, and email your work to year4@hucklow.sheffield.sch.uk. I am really, really looking forward to reading these. Okay? Good luck, Year 4. See you soon.